we are going to be baking eclairs. This is going to be a 4-step process. First, we will be making the choux pastry dough. Second, we will be making the creme patisserie. Creme patisserie, I don't know how they pronounce it in France. But anyway, we'll be making the cream for the eclairs. And then we will be making the chocolate frosting. And then we will be assembling them together. Hi everybody, we're ready to make the choux pastry. So you're going to need 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of water, half a cup of butter, which is 1 stick, and 4 eggs. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to heat up our water and our butter. Once this gets to, the butter gets melted and we get it boiling, then we're going to add the flour. You need to heat this up until it formed a ball, which is what it did. Now we're going to take it over to the mixer and add in the eggs. And you want to add the eggs in all at one time. We just needed to beat these until it was smooth. And this is what it looks like. So now we're going to get it into our piping bag and we're going to pipe it onto our baking sheet. Okay, now I got my choux pastry in the piping bag. And we're just going to do some piping here. Now we're going to put them in the oven at 400 degrees. Step 2 is going to be the creme patisserie, or as they would say in France, probably creme patisserie. I'm not sure. Anyway, this step you're going to need 2 1/4 cups of milk. You are going to need 1 1/2 teaspoons of vanilla, real vanilla, not the imitation extract. You are going to need a cup, barely half a cup of flour. In the recipe it calls for a scant of half a cup of flour, and I had to look up what scant means. And it means just barely, so just barely a half a cup of flour. and you need 1/3 of super fine sugar, 1/3 of a cup of super fine sugar. And again, I just grounded up my granulated sugar in my Ninja. And you're going to need 1 whole egg and 3 egg yolks. And of course you're going to need a large saucepan, a large bowl, and a whisk. So we are going to be boiling the milk mixture with the milk and the vanilla together on the stove, and then we will be pouring that over all this other stuff that I mix into this bowl. So I will see you at the stove. Okay, we're going to be pouring the 2 1/4 cups of milk into a saucepan, and the 1 1/2 teaspoons of vanilla. And we are going to get this to a boil. Okay, it is finally coming to a boil. Turn the heat off. Okay, so now we're going to put our flour in our mixing bowl and the superfine sugar, 1/3 of a cup, and 1 whole egg and 3 egg yolks. We're going to beat all that together. And then little by little we're going to add the boiling milk to this mixture. After we get all this mixed together, we are going to return it to the pan, and then we're going to cook it over gentle heat, stirring continuously. And as we're doing that, it will begin to boil and thicken. So then we will remove it from the heat as the mixture does come to a boil and starts to thicken up. I'm going to return it to the pot. And I'll see you back at the stove. Okay, I have it over gentle heat right now. I'm just waiting for it to come to a boil and thicken up, and I will take it off the heat. And you do want to stir this continuously. Okay, so apparently my camera cut out when I was bringing this to a boil and getting it to thicken up. So I just wanted to show you, now that I have it in the bowl, what it looks like and the thickness that I got it to come to. So this is our cream for the middle of the eclairs. It's going to be so good. So, and it's going to thicken up as we let it sit. So, and I need it to cool before I put it in those eclairs. All right, see you in the next step. Okay, so now we're going to do the chocolate frosting, and it takes a half a cup of semi-sweet chocolate, 4 tablespoons of butter, and it will take 2 egg yolks and 2 egg whites. So we're going to, what we do is we have a double boiler here. Got a little bit of water in the saucepan, and you find a bowl that will fit on top, and we're going to put the chocolate chips in here. I'm going to turn on some heat, get the water simmering or boiling, and put in the 4 tablespoons of butter. We're going to get this melting, and I'm going to stir all that together, and then after it cools, we're going to add the egg yolks and mix that in. And then with the egg whites, I have them at my mixer, and we are going to mix up the egg whites until we have meringue. It will have peaks, and then we'll fold the meringue into this chocolate mixture, and that will be a frosting. So we now have our chocolate all melted, and the butter is melted, and it's nice and glossy looking. Ooh, that's hot. That's hot. Don't do that. See how glossy that is? And when it cools, we'll be adding these egg yolks to it. Okay, now that the chocolate and butter mixture has cooled, I'm going to add my 2 egg yolks. Get them all good and mixed in. And I have already whisked up my egg whites where they are soft peaks. That's what they look like. And I'm going to fold them into this chocolate mixture. Do a little bit at a time here. It's looking like I got all the egg whites folded in. It's looking pretty good. Here's a good look at the chocolate frosting now that the egg whites are all folded in. Alright, so our next step is to fill and frost our eclairs. See you in a bit. So we are now ready to fill our eclairs with our cream and frost it with our chocolate frosting. So to get started, I already have everything in the piping bag, and I'm going to, instead of cutting them in half, I'm going to poke a hole at each end and fill it right in the middle. Just enough cream for that last one, it looks like. Quick piping on top. And here we have it. Some French chocolate eclairs. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, give me a thumbs up, like my video, and subscribe. See you next week. Bye.